Oh, you need a mic test? Okay, check, check, check. Oh, you need lights to turn on? We got so much going on up here, it's insane. Oh, and we'll do this too.
Yeah, there we go. It's green. Now it's blue. That's what it's supposed to be doing.
Hello? Working? Oh, okay. All right, well, before we get started, want to again reiterate, we'll have people taking a seat, please. So if you need more chairs, we've got plenty more. We'll just keep adding rows as we need them. And before we get started, so you know, we're here to take your public comment on the Foundry Ridge Energy Center. If you would like to give a comment, if you're in the room, if you want to give a comment, you need to fill out one of these slips. They're in the back table with commission staff. All you need to do if you want to comment live is to fill out your name and address, your contact information that you'd like to share with us, and check the Speak Now Yes box, and hand your form back to staff. They'll bring it up to the table, and we'll just take comments in the order that I've received these forms. So we got quite a bit of them here, so we're gonna have to move fast here. But but we don't want to speak fast. We'll go through all of that. Okay, thanks. So that's the first ground rule. Just want to make sure everyone knows that before we get started. You want to sign up to speak. And got a few more minutes to go. We just started with the preliminary stuff. We got people on Zoom, a bunch of people on Zoom, and we got you guys in the room. Just apologize if I may look distracted while you're giving a comment. I'm just trying to, keep all of this under control here. So stuff might pop up, I might have to deal with something. Important thing is that you get your chance to comment and that we transcribe your comment, because the commissioners are going to read your comment as it appears in the transcript. So that's something to keep in mind. So I just, if it looks like I'm don't have my eyes on you, it's not that I don't want to hear your comment. I'm just trying to pay attention to a lot of different things. Yes, sir. Who are you? Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. Yeah. So we haven't really had time. We're not really officially starting yet. So I'm just gonna give you a couple of ground rules. But let's just wait a few minutes. We'll reset and we'll get started at 2. So just sit tight until then. Thanks. All right.
I know, I've heard this on yours. I'll see that.
Never seen anyone do that before.
Yeah.
Keep your breathing.
Just a nice little trick because there's so much echo in the room.
Yeah, I hope it works. I don't know. Well, I guess they
o'clock.
Okay, we're going to start off the record. Welcome everyone. This is Docket 9835 CE100. It's the application of the Foundry Ridge Energy Center for its authority to build electric generation plant. My name is Michael Newmark. I'm the Administrative Law Judge for the Public Service Commission. So I work for the Commission. The Commission is a state agency that regulates a utility service in the state, including approving large generation projects like this one. Foundry Ridge came in with an application, and the Commission is processing that application. The Commission has the authority to approve, deny, or modify the application. And my job is to create the record that the Commission uses to make that decision. So, according to the state law, the commissioners, 3 commissioners that run our agency, vote on the issues in the case, and they determine whether the application can go forward. The only information they're allowed to use is the information I receive for the record. So, so that's my job, is to gatekeep the record, make sure that the process is fair, everyone gets a chance to speak and present their side of the story in a fair way. And it includes the parties to the case, which are treated sort of like in a court case trial. You'll see that next week. We'll have the hearing. It'll be available for the public to observe on Zoom, on YouTube. And you'll be able to see the parties sort of acting like in a trial with witnesses and attorneys appearing. Those witnesses will be subject to cross-examination. All of that will be transcribed, and the transcript of that hearing will be presented to the commissioners. They'll use that to make their decision, along with all the documents I receive at that hearing. They'll be part of the record. Hang on, I just got to mute some people. Okay. And today is a similar thing. We're here today to collect your comment. We want to hear the public's opinion on the case, and it looks like there's pretty strong opinion here. And the way we do that is we have you come and speak, and we're transcribing your comment, and that comment will be read by the commissioners. And I do want to welcome Commissioner Hawkins here, who's in the room to hear your comments today. But the official version of your comment will be in the transcript for all the commissioners to read. The 3 commissioners will all get a chance to review it. The other ways to comment, and it all has the same weight and effect. If you make a comment, your official comment will be the one in writing. There's really 3 ways you can comment. One is to speak today. The other way is to write a comment. And you can do that today just by filling out this form and just writing your comment on the form. We got plenty of copies, pages. You want to add pages to it. You can keep making a larger comment than this. That's perfectly fine. We'll collect those as well. I'll scan them into the record. They'll be part of the comments that the commissioners read. We're also collecting comments online, and so for whatever reason you don't want to comment in person today, you can do that online. There's a link and a QR code on this form that'll show you that. You also probably got a notice of hearing in the mail with the same information. Comments are due July 23rd. So they need to be at the commission by that date, and you can mail them to us or use our comment link. So just when you're trying to decide whether you want to comment in writing, just figure out the timing if you're going to mail it to us. But certainly using the link and filing the comment electronically is going to get it to us without a problem. So those are the different ways you can comment. And we have plenty of copies of these, so you can take one if you want to share it with someone, or if you don't want to comment today, change your mind, you can still do it up until the 23rd. So a couple other things I just want you to know before we get started. Like I said, I'm already distracted by Zoom, so I apologize for the interruptions, but we wanted to make this accessible in different ways. And a couple things. The way this works, I'm going to call your name and have you come up to the seat here, have you take a seat. I'm going to swear you in, have you state your name for the record, and then give your comment. Just want to hear your opinion. We're not presenting anything about the case or having a debate about the project. There's no different sides to question or debate. We're here to just collect your opinion. We do have a link to all the documents in the case up at the top here. You can review those documents. I hope you've had a chance to do that already, but that opportunity is still available. I've also, I've also have the applicants in the room. They're in the back of the room. So if you have questions you want to answer before you make your comment, please feel free to approach them and ask your questions. We have commission staff as well in the back. They can answer your questions too. So especially if you have a question about your property, how it's going to impact you, we want to know that, and we want you to have the answers before you give your comments. So if you have questions about it, get your answers and then come and give us your comment. It's important. Another item on this form, we have a spot for your address if you want to give it to us, but there's also a spot for any other properties that you think might be affected that you're interested in. So say if your farm's in has a different address, different fire number, you put that in there too. So we can cross-check it with your comment. We'll know if you're talking about that property. We'll have that on file. So that's just little things to mention. When you come up and give your comment, important thing is we can't have other people talking in the room. So we're going to check and see. I think the applicant table is pretty far back so that they can probably have some quiet discussions without disturbing us here. If it ends up being a distraction, I'll have them take that outside. But when someone's commenting, I can't have other people talking in the room or interrupting. Important things, we have our court reporter here. She is diligently recording everything that the person's saying, and if she gets distracted, you're just giving that person, you're making it hard for her, which I don't like, and you're giving that person, you're ruining that person's chance to speak. So I want to make sure everyone gets a fair chance to speak. We'll do that by being quiet, being patient. Couple of ground rules about making a comment. Just please speak slowly. I know you probably want to get through it, or if you're reading something, you may go faster than you normally speak. But she's going to be typing at the speed of your words. So if you could just keep it at a normal conversation pace, that would be great. We got a lot of people who want to comment. We're starting at 2. We'll go until we're done with this group, and then we're going to start again at 6. Do the same thing. I think we have to get out of here at 9 o'clock. But we may not get to everybody. It's possible. I mean, just to look at the size of the room. So don't worry. There's still an opportunity to file that written comment, or you can write your comment out and give it to us in case you don't get a chance. Also, if you've already filed a comment, let's see, since June 1st, if you've already filed a comment, please don't give a comment now. I'm not going to check and make sure, but if you want to give other people a chance, you've already commented, the commissioner will read your comment, so please give other people a chance by refraining from making a second comment today, okay? I think I got through all the boring stuff. Another thing is that looks like we're going to have people who are for the project and people who are against the project. So as part of the decorum here, again, I want to make sure everyone feels comfortable and has a right to speak and says their comment, gets it to the commission. Please do not clap or boo. I don't want to have people feel intimidated about coming up to the stand here. Just please be respectful about that. And you may disagree about this, but in the end, we're all neighbors. We're all human beings. We have different opinions, different positions on this, but what we're doing here today is just getting our opinions to the commission, and then we'll sort it out after that. So please just no interruptions with support or negative comments here. All right, so we're going to try this out. We'll get our first person up here. Looks like I've got Joan Schiller, our first witness here. And this lady was here, come on up, you were here before I was, which was like at noon. So have a seat here. And I might have to get a few things adjusted here, so apologize again, but I'll get you started. So I'm going to swear you in first, and let's make sure that's good. Yeah, raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. State your name and give us your comment. And try to speak into the mic if you can. And I'm just going to ask if someone can't hear, just let me know. The person in the back there.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joan Schiller, and I'm a physician who is head of the lung cancer team at the Carbone Cancer Center for about 10 years. And I'm here today to talk about something very important, and it has gone largely ignored, and that is the health effects of air pollution. Air pollution is produced by the burning of fossil fuels in cars, trucks, factories, and yes, power plants. Worldwide, it is estimated that air pollution causes close to 8 million premature deaths per year. In the US, 79,000 premature deaths. And the types of health effects that it causes, which I'm sure everyone knows at least some of them, are respiratory diseases such as asthma, chronic bronchitis, COPD, cardiovascular diseases with a higher likelihood of heart attacks, hypertension, and stroke. Neurological effects, links to cognitive decline, neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and developmental delays in children. Reproductive health problems, increased risk of low birth weight, preterm birth, and developmental issues in children. Immune system impairment, which makes individuals more susceptible to infections, and cancer. There is indisputable proof that air pollution causes lung cancer. About 14% of all lung cancer deaths worldwide are related to air pollution, and it causes lung cancer even in people who have not smoked. There is also more and more data emerging about the role that air pollution plays in other cancers, such as breast, brain, bladder, etc. And how does it do this? Well, first of all, air pollution contains many harmful chemicals, such as formaldehyde, arsenic, benzene, and something called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAH. And it also contains particulate matter. These are particles less than 1/300th of the size of a width of a human hair. So that's mighty darn small. We breathe in these particles. They're also called PM, particulate matter, 2.5. And they come, as I mentioned, from the burning of fossil fuels. They can cause local effects in the lung as we breathe them in, such as asthma, bronchitis, COPD, and lung cancer. But they also get absorbed into the bloodstream, where they can cause low-grade inflammation throughout the body. And that's why we see increased signs of cardiovascular disease, cerebral vascular disease, and impact on reproductive health and other things, as I've mentioned. I think that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and so I invite you now to look outside at that picture, because it's only going to get worse. I'm a lung cancer doctor, as I said, and lung cancer is a very deadly disease. It kills as many Americans as breast, colon, and prostate cancer combined. Untreated, the median survival for patients with advanced non-small lung cancer is about 6 months. Let me tell you about 2 of my patients that I had recently. Both were women. One was a gastroenterologist and the other an emergency room nurse. They were in their early 40s and neither had smoked. And they both presented at different times with shortness of breath, cough, fevers, and inability to continue to do their daily activities. And that's what prompted them to see a doctor. And it turned out that both of them had metastatic lung cancer. They also had children in middle school and high school, and both were understandably panicked as to what would happen to them. These women were, and I use air quotes here, lucky in the sense that they benefited from many of the newer treatments available, and they were able to see their children graduate high school before they died. But even with these newer treatments, lung cancer, once it is spread, is still an incurable disease that you do not want to get and you do not want your family to get. So let me conclude by saying, this is a difficult time for the U.S. and the world. We're living in difficult times. And I think that we can do one thing to make things better, and that it is save lives when we can. And one way of doing that is going to be to reduce the amount of air pollution in the world and locally. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your comment. We're going to call the next person, but I did want to mention, to note for the record, a point that you had brought up, so that we have, that I'm going to note that there's an air quality advisory from DNR, and it's scrolling across my screen. But it's basically, I think, all counties, looks like all counties for PM 2.5. So thanks so much. All right, so next person is Hannah Schlick. Come on up. Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Give us your name and comment.
Hi, my name is Hannah Schlick. I live about 2 miles beyond the proposed plant site, so my life will be directly impacted by this.
Here, yeah. You're...
Testing. I don't know.
I can't see you that far. More? Huh, that, I don't understand. That the person was getting, all right. I'll turn you up a little. Try again.
My name's Hannah Schlick.
Okay. All right. Depends who's given this.
around, so you need to stick.
Stop moving, okay.
Stop me. There you go.
No, I'm just saying that's why they're.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Should I start over?
Did
Are you
get
good?
No, you don't.
Okay.
it? Yeah,
I wasn't sure how to start this public comment, because how do you attempt to explain to a government entity how devastating the Foundry Ridge gas plant will be to your family, your home, your community, and our state as a whole? Decided to start from the beginning. From the time we finally learned about the possible gas plant through to today, Invenergy has been deceptive, vague, and focused on one thing: making money. I have read hundreds, probably thousands of pages of legal documents submitted by Invenergy that make vague statements about wastewater, water consumption, air quality, property values, the amount of time the plant will run, and so many other topics. I have also read parts of these legal documents where Invenergy contradicts themselves. For example, they tell the public this plant will power 52,000 homes, but in their legal documents submitted to the PSC, it clearly states the plant will be sold and used to supply electricity to proposed data centers in the area. Invenergy has been careful in their public statements to always say Foundry Ridge could or is able to power 52,000 homes, but it never says that it will power 52,000 homes. During public meetings, Invenergy told us the plant was a closed-loop system and no water would be discharged. Imagine my surprise when reading the hundreds of pages of their initial environmental impact statement that Invenergy had plans to discharge an unspecified amount of water into Turtle Creek. Another lie. What about how often the plant will operate, or when it will operate? We still haven't seen clear answers to that question. Invenergy has had a plan to come into Walworth County for years, prey on our small rural community, and hope none of us caught on or took the time to question this project. I have a question. How is it possible that Invenergy puts hundreds of acres of solar fields into our community and happens to leave about 15 acres of land open, exactly the amount they need for this gas plant? That 15 acres is surrounded on all 4 sides by the Darien solar project. If that land wasn't good enough for solar panels, how is it good enough for a natural gas plant? Invenergy touts this project as producing American-made energy to meet the nation's growing demand for electricity, but I urge the PSC to see it for what it is: a Chicago company preying on a rural Wisconsin community so they can destroy our lives and make millions of dollars. They are not here to generate sustainable energy. They are here to build in our community, sell the facility, and leave. I urge you to deny the Foundry Ridge gas plant, not just for my community's sake, and to keep Invenergy from destroying the beautiful state of Wisconsin. And as you review online public comments and listen to public comments today, I urge you to listen to where these people are coming from. Most people who are for this are not from our community. There are people sitting in this room who are going to be for this, who are representing a union, who are not from this community, and are here specifically for jobs that are not promised to their union.
Thanks very much. Mavry McCullough. There you are. Have a seat there. Oh, I'm gonna adjust your microphone. There you go. All right, I'm gonna swear you in. Raise your right hand. There you go. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Give us your name and comment.
She's gotta get closer.
Scooch up closer to the mic. Perfect. Name and comment, please.
My name is Mavry McCullough, and I am 9 years old. We spend a lot of time at our family farm taking care of cattle and pigs. The farm has been in our family for over 100 years. Please say no to the gas plant and protect farms like ours. We want clean water to drink and clean air to breathe. And I want to see our family farm continue for another 100 years.
That's it. Thank you. All right. How about John Schlick? Schlich. There he is.
Hi,
Swear in, raise your right hand. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Name and comment.
My name is John Schlick. I live over on County Road C by the creek. I, like most of the members of this union that are in this room right now, have worked my ass off to get what I have. I found a sanctuary surrounded by trees, a creek, hunting land, fishing, a place where you can raise a family and be respectable, only to have it taken away by this potential gas plant. I first heard about this facility from a neighbor who was concerned and stopped at our home to tell us about it. This was over a year ago, and at that point, Invenergy had supposedly sent out notifications to the community about public hearings. We didn't receive any notifications, and neither did any of our neighbors, and most likely, most of the Darien residents sitting in this room never heard about it. The mailing went to addresses without mailboxes, county offices and officials, and addresses outside of Walworth County. For about a year, Invenergy has lied, made vague statements, and pretended to be a valuable entity to the community. Opening an office in Delavan that is open for 4 hours a week, sponsoring a farmer's market, and giving a couple scholarships to local students doesn't make this company a valuable part of our community.
Can you slow down just a little bit, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
It's all smoke and mirrors, so the community doesn't question a natural gas plant that will destroy our rural landscape, our water, and our air quality. Invenergy is trying to build Foundry Ridge in Walworth County not because it's the best option, but because it's the cheapest option with the least amount of regulations and red tape for them to deal with. While I understand the importance of energy reliability, the environmental and health impacts of expanding fossil fuel infrastructure are far too great. Natural gas plants release pollutants that can worsen air quality and contribute to respiratory illnesses. This is especially troubling for myself and other residents close to the proposed plant. Not to mention the damage it will do to our water table and beautiful Turtle Creek nature area, less than a mile from the proposed site. Our community has already had to deal with the solar field we did not want, and now the same company is going to bring an ugly, harmful natural gas plant to destroy our rural community. Approving this plant will be harmful to my family and entire community. Moreover, the proposed site of this plant in our community raises serious environmental justice concerns. Too often, low-income neighborhoods with small rural communities bear the brunt of industrial pollution. Darien shouldn't have to bear the environmental, financial, and health burdens for large corporations to be able to power data centers us and our neighbors and communities don't even want. State officials need to start considering the well-being of its residents, not the companies, especially companies from Chicago. It's only a matter of time before everyone's tree stands get bulldozed by either a solar field or next to a gas plant or a data center where you're not getting anything. It's not worth it. I urge you to oppose the proposed gas plant to help protect Darien, Walworth County, and all of Wisconsin.
All right, thanks very much. Kent Miller. Let's see, that's our fifth person from in the room. We're going to switch to Zoom for a bit. I got a lot of people waiting there, and we'll just switch back and forth. All right, swear you in. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Name and comment.
Good afternoon. My name is Kent Miller, and I am the President and Business Manager for the Wisconsin Laborers District Council. The Wisconsin Laborers District Council is an affiliation of 5 labor local unions representing 10,000 skilled construction craft laborers throughout Wisconsin. LIUNA is the most diverse trade in the construction industry, servicing over 900 employer partners in energy construction, transportation infrastructure, vertical building, sewer and water, utility distribution, demolition, asbestos removal, and related sectors. On behalf of my union's members, I'm providing comment today in support of the application of the Foundry Ridge Energy Center for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct and operate the Foundry Ridge Energy Center. Our union believes that in order to ensure that the state of Wisconsin can meet current and projected demand with affordable energy supplies, this 300+ megawatt natural gas power generation facility, otherwise known as a peaker plant, will be a needed addition to our state's energy portfolio. Our union has an all-above position on energy power generation, and while we believe that climate change is real and there needs to be continued investments in utility-scaled solar and wind projects, the fact of the matter is we need to have a diversified supply of energy generation to ensure that our homes and businesses have the power they need to enable continued economic development and provide prosperity for Wisconsin's residents. The Foundry Ridge Energy Center will help bolster our grid and ramp up generation when there's an increase in demand, but can also quickly shut off when there isn't the need on the grid. If approved, the Foundry Ridge Energy Center will create 150 good-paying construction jobs for members of my union and other skilled union building trades workers. The scope of construction will provide steady employment for my union's members, who will be earning industry-leading wages, high-quality healthcare insurance, and contribution to their pensions for retirement. I would like to thank the project developer Invenergy for their partnership and helping to be a catalyst for job creation and workforce development in Wisconsin. Over the last 4 years, Invenergy projects have created thousands of jobs utilizing local and unionized workers. The construction jobs for the Foundry Ridge Energy Center will also bring additional economic activity to local small businesses in Darien and the surrounding communities, adding revenue to local units of government and providing additional workforce development opportunities for my union to create new pathways to our registered apprenticeship program. I would like to thank the Public Service Commission for the opportunity to speak today on the Foundry Ridge Energy Center's CPCN application. And on behalf of my union's 10,000 members, I respectfully ask that you approve the application so we can bolster our energy power generation and continue to invest in Wisconsin's unionized workforce. Thank you.
All right, thanks for your comment. So we're going to switch over to Zoom participants. You should be able to see them here. Sorry, it's kind of a smaller screen that I have available. Wouldn't go off the record. So just so you know, people can get prepared in the room for comments. Here are the next 5 people we're going to call for the room. It's Pam Collins, Tom Collins, Tim Vike, V-I-K-E, Brian Conley, and Travis Briones, I think. I got that right. So just you'll be on deck. We're going to take some people on Zoom, and just so the people on Zoom know, I'm seeing you guys in alphabetical order. I'm just going to go down the list that way. So Brian Wegenar, W-A-G-E-N-N-R-N-A-A-R. N-A-A-R.
I'm just here to listen. Thanks.
And there's well, and let me remind people, so we do have a lot of people set up here. If you have already filed a comment in writing, I'm just going to ask you not to comment in person today. Comments will be read by the commissioner the same way, so that'll just make sure we give everyone a chance to speak. How about Dean Wiegert, W-I-E-G-E-R-T? Did you want to comment?
I'm here.
Great. Let me just adjust something here.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'm gonna have to adjust myself so that you can hear me better. Can you hear me any better now?
Yes, I can hear you.
My screen was in the way. All right, so I got you here. First, I'm gonna swear you in, so please raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And give us your name, spell your name for us, please, and state it.
My name is Dean Wiegert. It's Deanwiegert.
Okay, go ahead and give us your comment.
I'm going to read it. As I sit here today, July 16th, 2026, and prepare some comments to share at this hearing, the air quality according to airnow.gov is at 644, a hazardous level for anyone. I work outside. I've been out in 80-degree temperature with an N95 mask on because I need to work, but working without a respirator is hazardous. Probably it's hazardous even with the respirator. I can slightly detect the smoke through the mask. The respirator is not comfortable when sweating in the warm temperatures, and exertion is both difficult and unadvisable. Knowing that air quality issues are becoming more and more common, especially in summer months here in southeastern Wisconsin, I'm going to tell you that building a new gas-fired electric plant to power billionaire AI businesses is killing us all. The Foundry Ridge gas plant in Darien will be a mistake that we and future generations will regret. Higher particulate matter will contribute to more death, more illnesses, and the brunt of all of this will fall on those who do not have the money to shield themselves from the effects. Those who have to work outside no matter what. Those who can't afford air conditioning or to miss days of work and stay home. Those who have no option but to breathe the particulate matter. Their children will be the most affected by this because developing lungs and bodies will take the particulate matter in and move it through the bloodstream. This is illness and death for the masses and more data centers for the few. Add to this the water use that the plant will require. I have read that the proposed Foundry Ridge gas plant will use up to 55,152 million gallons of water a day. With climate change a reality, a hotter, drier Wisconsin cannot afford to waste that water on more gas plants to fire AI data centers. I am living and working in Port Washington, quite close to where the construction of the giant data center is already causing problems and air quality concerns just from the construction. The noise, traffic, vibrations, the reduction in air quality due to dust, the proposed use of wells on the property, and the diesel-powered generators being proposed are already huge concerns. And now there is this need for more electricity at the expense of our water and air quality. Please deny the application to build the Foundry Ridge gas plant. I don't have an answer to the needs for the more electricity, but I don't think that's my responsibility. Those who build AI data centers need to spend their money on figuring out how to get their electricity without ruining our health and our environment. A couple of hundred temporary union construction jobs will never, ever be worth the risk of everyone's future. Thank you for allowing me to comment.
Okay, thanks, Dean. Going to remove your spotlight and put someone else up here. Alex Hirnchuk, H-R-Y-N-C-H-U-K. Did you want to comment? Alex. How about Debbie Peterson? Debbie Peterson, comment from you? They might be muted. Yeah, you'll need to unmute and let me know if you want to comment.
No,
Okay,
I did not sign up.
Okay. And so Alex, any comment? Just one more time? No? Okay. Don Ferber, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I see you there. I'm going to spotlight you. And let's get started. So I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name and comment, please.
My name is Don Ferber, Donferber. I'm very troubled that we need to hold this hearing in the first place. That we have a merchant gas plant wanting to be built. We already know the utility is going to purchase. Why is the utility not building this? This looks like a way to skirt the rules that should not be allowed to build this gas plant, where maybe we energies then can get out of some of the obligations they would have otherwise. One of the things we know is this is being built for a data center for those purposes. At least that's what we're being told. And we have a utility here that's already proven that they're a bad actor in terms of data centers. They are opposing rules that support data centers having to be responsible for their actions and their costs. So this looks like an end run on the Public Service Commission and the public, for that matter, in terms of their actions here. So this is very troubling in the first place that this is occurring. Secondly, we know that these gas plants are going to cause considerable amounts of harm, as has been pointed out. And especially today with the bad air quality, we know that gas plants add to that particular matter that people have to breathe in. That simply should not be acceptable. I mean, I know that environmental concerns of those sorts normally fall under the Department of Natural Resources. At the same time, there are harms to human health, and the Public Service Commission is supposed to be looking out for affordability as well as the public interest in these plants. This does not represent the public interest here when it will cause additional deaths, additional illness and harms, additional impacts to the environment and climate change, and additional impacts to local people and the water supplies there. There are, especially with the size of this plant, which is reasonably small compared to a lot of plants and so is more in the peaker range. Why is it, especially with all this intelligence that they're supposedly building, that they can't figure out how to do demand response, virtual power plants, or other means to deal with this, or batteries and clean energy? We, Invenergy has been building solar farms that are about the size of this gas plant with battery backup. Why is that not being done here? It seems to me this would both be a less harmful and probably less expensive alternative. And it looks like, again, this is an end run on the process here. And I therefore would ask the Public Service Commission to reject this proposal. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Don. All right, now, please, no acknowledgements here. Like I said, we want to make this respectful, safe place for everyone to give us their comment. And next up, we have, I think, Dr. Joel Charles. Did you want to comment?
Yes, I do.
I'll see you there. Okay, let me spotlight you. Great, got you there. All right, so raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And give us your name, just spell it for us, and then give us your comment.
My name is Dr. Joel Charles, Joelcharles. I'm a family physician. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I'm speaking to you from a hospital where I regularly take care of patients who are admitted for COPD, heart attacks. I take care of as a primary care provider of patients with dementia. My wife, who's also a family physician, takes care of people over the span of their life, including pregnant women and newborns. And all of the people that we take care of are made more ill by fossil fuels, and they also need affordable energy. And the data is incredibly clear, as you will hear over and over again today, and in all the documents you received for this docket, that renewable energy is cleaner, healthier, more affordable, and it can be just as reliable. You know, I have this feeling right now that it's almost like we're just redoing the same play that we do every time a gas plant gets proposed to the Public Service Commission. I can't help but think about after the Oak Creek plant, when the Public Service Commissioners, when you stood up in the front of the room, acknowledged the profound public opposition to the project, the profound opposition on the part of health professionals, the clear data of the harm that would be caused, and yet approved that project anyway. It feels to me like there is just a stunning level of willful ignorance that needs to be employed to continue to approve these projects. There's the argument made that we need these gas plants for reliability. The data is incredibly clear, the modeling is clear, that it's possible to have an electricity grid run reliably with up to 85% renewables. Basic math tells you that given our current system is 75% fossil fuels, that we could have electricity demand in Wisconsin grow fourfold, and you could meet all of that with renewables, and you would have a reliable grid if you did it right. So why are we building fossil fuels? This is a hearing for a certificate of public necessity. No one has proven that this plant is needed. Now, when I was a kid, I grew up in this neighborhood that had a lot of Southeast Asian refugees. And one day I showed up to school, and one of my friends, who was a first generation Hmong refugee who got picked on a lot for his accent, he was in a wheelchair because his leg had gotten cut off by a train. And I got to school, and he was crying. And he was crying because a bully had made fun of him for trying to learn to walk on his new prosthetic leg. And I looked to the teacher, and the teacher stood there doing nothing. And so I and the other kids had to take it in our hands to make it so that that bully didn't pick on kids like that, so that he could feel free to be healthy and to learn to adapt to his new condition. Our institutions are failing us, despite those institutions being full of good, hardworking, well-meaning people like you commissioners and Public Service Commission staff. And yet they are failing us. And they are failing us because people point the finger at each other and say this isn't their responsibility. Public Service Commission, after the Oak Creek case, you essentially pointed the finger at the legislature and said they needed to tell you what to do. Meanwhile, the public utilities are fleecing us for our lunch money, and we do not have the power to stop them. Someone needs to step in, and I hope that you can summon the courage to do that as Public Service Commissioners. To me, to not do that is just a fundamental abdication of your duty to protect the public. So as a health professional who truly went into this profession so I could protect my community, not just their physical health, but their whole well-being, I am begging you to summon the courage to not put on blinders and look at this case in a narrow case-by-case basis, but to use the obvious knowledge that all of us have of the modern energy system and deny these projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. All right, we're going to move on. One more comment on Zoom. They have the initials, person has initials GH. Did you want to comment? Just got to unmute and turn on your camera. GH. No? Okay. And then Jean, I see you got your camera going. Did you want to comment? Jean, just unmute and let me know. Oh, I see you talking. Hang on, let me unmute you. I can't do that from here. You'll have to, there. Jean, you have to push that button to unmute. Jean. But we'll get back to you if you do want to comment. You'll have to figure out how to unmute on your end. Gloria Randall Hewitt, did you want to comment?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Hang on, let me just make a note on Jean. All right, and okay, Gloria, I'm going to spotlight you here, and then we can get started. All right, raise your right hand. And there you go. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Can you state and spell your name, please?
My name is Gloria Randall Hewitt, Randall Hewitt.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I live in Racine, Wisconsin. I'm presently calling you from Arkansas, where we're visiting with our daughter. And I've heard about the air quality things going on in Wisconsin. I'm very concerned about that. We Energies has said that these additional gas-fired power plants in southeast Wisconsin, this one here in Darien, the Foundry Ridge, and the Red Oak Ridge, which Invenergy wants to build in Kenosha, are needed due to data center electricity requirements. Both of these plants are being built by Invenergy, but it's been clear that We Energies intends to purchase them based on their own announcement. The question on whether this plant or the one at Red Oak Ridge is needed is mired in the question of whether the anticipated growth in data centers is real, whether we believe the projections, and what is necessary to power the giant data centers. The world's most powerful AI data center was just opened by Microsoft in Mount Pleasant, just down the road from us. We Energies claims these new gas plants, the Foundry Ridge one, the Rice one that was approved last year, and Oak Creek, in addition to Red Oak Ridge, are supposed to be to power data centers. However, Microsoft has a power purchase agreement for 250 megawatt solar project in Portage County, which is expected to be completed in 2027. And Microsoft has a new agreement with We Energies to bring 1.2 gigawatts of carbon-free energy projects in Wisconsin to be used for Microsoft's data center onto the grid, including solar and battery, expected to come online in December of 2028. So if we add up the Portage 250 megawatts to be completed in 2027, the solar and batteries of 1.2 gigawatts that are committed to Microsoft and supposed to finish in December 2028, we have 1.5 gigawatts of clean power expected to be ready by 2028. Foundry Ridge is targeted for completion in 2028 at 324 megawatts. Red Oak Ridge at the end of June 2030 for 1.2 gigawatts. That's also 1.5 gigawatts. So when I look at those projects, we hear a lot about jobs and economic impact to the community. The 250 megawatt solar project in Portage has on the website where they expect $73 million in direct economic impact over the next 20 years of operation through new tax revenues, jobs, increased local spending, and charitable giving. The Microsoft project for 1.2 gigawatt of carbon-free energy can be expected to be 4 or 5 times the same impact of that Portage project. The health and environmental harms of gas plants are well documented and have been explained here by people who are much more qualified than I am to talk about it. We know they pollute our air, while the current air quality alerts that you're experiencing in Wisconsin remind us that we should be looking for anywhere that we can improve our air, not make it worse. As I think about the jobs, as I think about the air quality, as I think about the actual powering of these plants and what is necessary, even though we don't even know what is really going to be necessary for data center growth, I'm asking the Public Service Commission to deny these permits and to take a break on all of this because we need clean air and clean water. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gloria. Okay, so we're gonna switch over to people in the room. Okay, and letting more people on Zoom. So let's switch over to Pam Collins. And then we had Tom, Tim Veitke, Brian Conley, and Travis Briones, I believe. All right, Pam, let me swear you in. Just make sure I got everything going here. It's supposed to. I think that's good. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Name and comment, please.
Pam Collins. I just want to say we own 350 acres of farmland off North Road in Darien. And my son raises his family on the family farm, which is over a century-year-old. This is a farming community. We have already taken on enough. We should not have to be part of the experiment or future study of what happens to the rural community once it's pushed to industrial. My main concern, like most people, are the air, noise, sound pollution that this project will bring. There are plenty of studies that show the negative health effects from the emissions, yet there is still so much unknown and how this will affect the farm animals, crops that we ultimately consume. Beyond the health concerns, residents have already uncovered errors in this application that we later had to correct ourselves, only after it was brought to the developer's attention. They initially failed to identify the nearby farm animals. Residents also raised concerns about the wastewater discharge to the Little Turtle Creek. That makes it fair to ask, what else have we missed? We are not professionals. You guys should have had a corrected application once it was submitted. If you've done these projects over and over, should not have been the errors that you had. The application says they will comply with regulations, but who's going to enforce that? Who's going to test what they really are saying? I'm not sure. We have no local air monitors. Invenergy has also told us that the project is only going to run 20% of the time. And it's only going to sound like a dishwasher, but I don't believe that for one bit. This is the same developer that told us that they would bring sheep in and they would graze underneath the solar panels. Maybe they should go take a nap under the solar panels and see how much heat really comes off of those. You cannot put animals grazing underneath of them. I just don't believe that. If We Energies is going to purchase this, like they did the Darien solar project, who is the project really being built to serve? Invenergy tells us one thing and We Energy says another. Technology should not grow at the expense of small communities, and small communities should not be expected to carry the weight of the numerous projects or the cost. Shouldn't have to share in any of the costs. I saw someone posted, welcome to Wisconsin, Americans Dairyland, rolling hills, fresh cheese, back roads, hometown pride. We're giving that all away if we allow this to go through. I've listened to the man that spoke up here about the jobs for the union. You people are probably good people, but I'm here to tell you they promised they were going to bring small jobs, give it to the local people. We have a septic business. You put a septic system out there at the solar monitoring building out on North and Creek Road. We never got a call. We never got to quote it. You're thanking us to bring these jobs, this money, 401k, great health insurance to union workers. But what about us as residents? What are we getting for giving them that? I urge that you think about this and not just pass it through. Please say no.
Right, thank you. Tom Collins. Raise your right hand, swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Name and comment, you gotta speak up though.
My name's Tom Collins. I'm a resident, I'm a landowner in Darien Township.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to start off with, isn't it ironic that we have this air today? it's a sign. I don't know what it is, but it's a sign. Right now, I see some people wearing face masks and so on and so forth. That may become a norm. Pam had mentioned that the plant was going to run at 20%. I don't know about you, and I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but 20%, if I was to build something and only get 20% out of it, I don't think that'd be a good business decision. So with that, I'll proceed. I don't believe this project belongs in Darien. I ask that you look beyond the physical footprint. The impact doesn't stop there. This project brings pipeline construction, transmission, infrastructure, and distributions to that go beyond the plant itself. The burden on our community is far greater than it seems. It will change, trust me, people. Please consider the existing solar project, future battery storage, and understand it is enough for one community. We don't deserve the negative impacts of a gas plant too. Just one more thing I'd like to mention. When we bought that farm, I had 2 of those, like, don't disturb signs hanging on my door. One was for windmills, and the other one was for more solar panels.
What's for?
What's that?
What did you say it was for?
More solar panels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it, thanks. Tim Vike, V-I-K-E. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but.
Close enough.
All right, well, you decide, you be the judge of that. Have a seat. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Name and comment.
All right, my name is Tim Beek. I'm here on behalf of the Walworth County members. I am the business agent for the operating engineers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm just speaking there. I'm here to represent the members in Walworth County, 287 of them, and we have Jefferson County, there's 300 in there, and Rock County, about 329. They asked me to speak on behalf of approving this, just because they seen the economic benefit, $940,000 a year, 150 jobs, union jobs. They want to work close to home. They're working out of state for contractors. They sure like to spend their time at home, if they could. And yeah, I totally agree. We need to have good paying jobs in Wisconsin, green jobs. I totally get it. We got to protect our environment, but we can also do that too. So that's all I got.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for your comment. Brian Conley. There we go. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Name and comment.
My name is Brian Conley. I just want to ask if Invenergy is going to be asked the same thing, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So, let me get back. Oh, sorry.
Right.
I own land here in Walworth County as well in Crawford County, and I'll get to my land in Crawford County here shortly. They believe we need this power. I've heard this over and over again. We need this power, we need this power. I haven't heard us ask for this power. 20 years ago, they look at what we need for the future, and they stated that on average, the demand would increase 2.5% per year. That was in 2002, or 2005. From 2005 to 2024, according to the PSC Strategic Energy Assessment, between 2005 and 2024, energy use in Wisconsin has been flat or declined slightly. I'm sure that's changed, but it's changed for one reason. It's not because of the residents, it's because of these data centers. Whether you're for them, against them, that's your own, but we're not demanding this power. They're demanding that power. Power companies have companies like Invenergy build these plants, so those companies are the bad companies, not our utility companies. Invenergy is in the business of building and selling electric generating plants, including solar and natural gas. Once sold, they don't care if they are used after they get paid. Do we need it? I think they believe in build it and they will come. What happened to the pollinator-friendly plants under the solar panels? I see more flowering plants in the ditch than under the panels. Why are they using gas mowers to mow around the green energy? Plant the right plants, you don't have to mow. You truly expect me to believe that this plant is only going to run 20% of the time? If that is the case, then there's an 80% reason on why we don't need this plant. 80% outweighs 20%. Heard the union talk about 150, as I'll call them, part-time jobs, because you're going to move on once that's done. Once this job is done, you'll be looking for the next one, which may be the one they're talking about in Sugar Creek. That's larger than the one they're wanting to build here. The Sugar Creek is looking at coming online in 2030. Remember, don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. Again, I have information on the Sugar Creek plant that they're proposing. I believe it's 950 megawatts. This one here is 324 megawatts. That's 2.9 times larger than the one they want to build here. If they're building that, why do we need that power here? Is that one only going to run 20% of the time as well? Next, I'm going to talk to you about something I don't know how many of you are aware of. This deals with my land over in Crawford County. It's called the Maribel Transmission Line. It's a 765 kilovolt line, the largest lines they make on the largest towers they make. And it's going to come to the Bell Center substation, which is 2 miles from the property I own there. I have 158 acres over there. Why does that concern me for down here? Because after it goes from Bell Center, it's going to Portage. And where's it coming after Portage? Sugar Creek in Walworth County. That's an awful lot of power. 2 gas plants, a 765 line. What am I missing? They have other plans. They're not being honest with us. I'm just upset, be honest, straightforward. We don't need this. If it was needed, to be a different story, but how much power do we need in Walworth County? Because you're talking about an awful lot of power. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Travis Briones, please, no clapping. Thanks. Seat. You have to pronounce your name better than me.
No, good job. Good job.
Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, state your name and comment.
Hello, my name is Travis Briones. I'm a member of the Operating Engineers Local 139 and live in southern Wisconsin. Thank you for letting me speak today in favor of the Foundry Ridge Energy Center project. Many people who oppose this and other generation projects claim that data centers and AI should be stopped, and if stopped, this project would not be needed. The reality is that data centers are a necessity, and I do mean necessity, of modern life. Our children's school computers, healthcare delivery, manufacturing, cell phone use, all internet searches on all devices, housing, businesses, electronic documents, and much more all depend on data center capacity and security. Ironically, the people who oppose the Foundry Ridge project relied on the very technology they vilified to spread their message online. I would rather have those facilities built here and powered by projects such as the Foundry Ridge project than have such critical infrastructure located in another state or worse, another country. More importantly, our electric grid is a shared system. As power demand goes up, we must add supply to avoid drastic price increases or energy shortfalls for everyday homes and businesses. Large energy users like data centers are now required to pay for new power generation in Wisconsin, helping reduce strain on the system and avoid shifting costs to other users. Our energy infrastructure is aging. Upgrades are inevitable. New large energy users provide Wisconsin with the opportunity to retire coal plants and upgrade other energy infrastructure without imposing economic burdens on the average individual ratepayer. In closing, I support not only the Foundry Ridge project, but renewable energy projects as well. I do enjoy hunting, fishing, camping, and hiking, and believe we need to protect our environment. I want Wisconsin to have a clean power and good jobs. Projects like this help us do both. They give us all a chance to be part of building Wisconsin's future. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, just a housekeeping matter. Just wanted to mention, I do have Kelly Scott signed up to speak. And Kelly, are you here?
No, she's not.
Oh, no, okay. All right, so I just wanted to mention, if this Kelly Scott is also the one who intervened as a party in the case, not able to take her comment as a public comment, Kelly has filed a written testimony in the party session, and I'll be receiving that testimony at the party session next week. And she'll also have an opportunity to speak at that point in that part of the proceeding. So just set that aside. So we can go off the record. We're going to switch to Zoom, people. First of all, how are you doing? Okay. So we're going to switch to Zoom and take people alphabetically again. And I'll just give you who's on deck in the room here. The next 5 people: Al Fogel. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. Fogel. Right. All right. Chris. And starts with an F. Your appearance slip. There you go. Matt Boson or Loson? Bison? It's hard to read that one. Alex Schmitz, Van Deen Sononda, all up next once we get through our Zoom list. And while we're off the record, I want to check in with Neil Thompson, who's online. You've had your hand up a bunch of times. Let me unmute you. Did you have a problem, or because we're taking people alphabetically? What's going on over there? Not able to hear you, sir.
Neil Thompson. I'm online.
Yes.
Here. I can see you. Am I up?
Okay.
Or something else?
Yeah, I'm going to be calling out the names for people on Zoom when it's your turn, okay? So if you can see the list of participants, I'm going to take those in alphabetical order.
I don't see the list, so I don't know how far I am.
Okay, there's an icon that says participants on the bottom of your screen, and you'll be able to see that. You're coming up soon.
Okay.
But not right now, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to mute you. All right. Not working? No. Well, we have the Zoom too, the YouTube.
I don't understand.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so we're switching to our Zoom participants. I'm going to ask Jean if you did want to speak, if you can get your device unmuted. I see it on the screen, but you're muted. So if you can't unmute, I can't take your comment. We'll move on then. Just let me know if you do figure that out. Heather's iPad, I have you listed here next. Did you want to give us a comment? Just unmute and let me know. Heather, any comment? You're on Zoom. No? Okay, Jeanette Thompson, did you want to speak? You need to unmute. Jeanette? No? Okay. The initials LH. Do you wish to comment, LH? You need to unmute, turn on your camera. Okay. Not hearing from anybody. And now next is Neil Thompson. We got you going here, so let me unmute you, put you on the spotlight. All right, Neil, I see you there. Can we just test out your audio? It was a little hard to hear you before.
Can you hear me now?
It's okay. But we can make do with that. So let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes? Okay. So please state and spell your name.
W. Neil Thompson.
Okay. And is that Neilthompson?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, give us your comment. Go ahead.
Let's see here. My name is Walter Neil Thompson, an architect with over 40 years of experience designing healthy, sustainable communities worldwide. I urge the Public Service Commission to reject the proposed Foundry Ridge Energy Center. And as an architect, I design accordingly to human-centered principles like Henry Dreyfus's environmental tolerance design tolerance zones in 1968. And I want to show that to you because it's is it?
Yeah, I see what you have there.
Okay,
Document you're showing us.
That encompasses the entire concerns about human safety from day one. It defines the narrow ranges of air quality, temperature, noise, pollution that people can tolerate while remaining healthy and productive. And this proposed methane gas plant violates those fundamental tolerances. The University of Wisconsin researchers project.
Sir, can I interrupt just a second?
Yeah.
Can you get closer to your microphone? Is there any chance you can get closer to the device?
Yeah, let's see what I'm doing. How's that? Is it a little better?
It is a little, yeah, we may not be able to get everything you're saying from, it's a little difficult to hear you. And so may I suggest, are you reading from a document?
Yes, I am. I'm handicapped and it's hard for me to manipulate all this stuff. So,
okay.
If you pay,
is there some,
I can get
it
through
would be, we can go off the record. So I would offer that you could file your comment in writing and it'll appear to the commission in the same format that they'll read your comment that you speak.
No, I would like the people that's appearing at the hearing.
I see.
But I have 2 paragraphs to read.
Okay, I just wanted you to know it's difficult to hear you. So in order to get to the comment to the commission accurately, the best way would be to file it in writing. But I'll let you go ahead. Get on the, it's up to him. Oh, is it possible for your assistant to read it? Would you mind if we did that?
Okay, you want me to read it?
Well, no, if you don't feel like, let's scratch that. Go ahead and just read your comment, and that's fine. We'll just do the best we can.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, what was the last thing you had? So we're just checking out what we have left. What was the last thing you said?
Let me see this paragraph starting it. As an architect, I design according to human-centered principles like Henry Dreyfus's environmental tolerance centers in 1966, and which define the narrow ranges of the air quality, temperature, noise, and pollution that people can tolerate while remaining healthy and productive. And this proposed methane gas plant violates those fundamental concerns. I don't want to show you. See it, show you the diagram?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Yes, we've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's important, fundamental to anything that we do. So I've participated with the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission in environmental centers. We have, based on these human factors, three nuclear power plants that were denied licensing of construction nuclear power plants on the basis of these facts. The Greene County Nuclear Power Plant, January 1979, docket number 5549, and the Montague Nuclear Power Plant units 1 and 2, February 1977, docket number, I won't give you the docket numbers, but these have all been denied based on Henry Dreyfus's, I guess you can't see it, but it's a diagram. It's Henry Dreyfus's environmental tolerance zones. These nuclear power plants have been defined denied construction permits for these nuclear power plants on the basis of these environmental tolerance zones that Dreyfus put together back in 1966. So it's fundamental to the way we think about our environment, whether it's sun, whether it's wind, whether it's thermal, geothermal. It's all the same concerns about how we use, as human beings, these potential energy centers. And I think that they should be addressed along, because each one of them have dramatically environmental impact, environmental aesthetic impacts. They were all defined. These plans were denied based on aesthetics. Think about it, environmental aesthetics. And it includes all these things in the environmental tolerance zones that Dreyfus put together back in 1966. So I think it should be open for the public to see what has happened in the past, what's been denied by NEPA, and you would think that SEPA would be denied for the same reasons, but they don't even consider it. So I think it's a very important environmental impact that should be considered. That's it.
All right, thank you. So
I can send it to you.
Yes, I'm sending you in the chat a link and the mailing address where you can send a comment. So if you have that if you're going to send us that document, I would suggest putting that in the mail with your comment, with your written comment. So I'm going to send that.
I can make reference to these. These are government USNRC offices.
So, sir, hang on. Let's go off the record. So I'm sending you the mailing list, the address where you can mail your comment along with that diagram. And also that's on our notice of hearing. So if you've got to this hearing, you should have information about where to mail a comment to. And hopefully that person who's helping you out can assist you with that. But if you look in the chat, you'll see the mailing address. So we appreciate you sending us a copy. That would be the best way to get that to us, okay?
Yeah, that's good. Thanks a lot for your...
Thanks very much for your comment. And we're going to move on to the next person. Appreciate it. All right, so Gene, you have your... you have unmuted, so I think we can take your comment now. Are you there, Gene? He's not there. All right, move on. Okay. Paul Kiefer. Paul Kiefer, are you there on Zoom? No? Steve Gurry, G-U-E-R-R-Y. Steven, just unmute and let me know.
No comment.
No comment, all right, thanks. Yvonne Besick, B-S-Y-K.
Yes,
Any comment from you? Okay, there you are.
Hi.
Spotlight you and get you ready to go here. All right, excellent. Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay, state and spell your name, please.
Okay, getting to be a familiar face at these hearings.
Yes.
And I don't have any real...
So just state and spell your name first, please.
Oh, my name is Yvonne Besick. It's Y-V-O-N-N-E. Last name is B-E-S-Y-K.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I live in Salem, Wisconsin, in southeast Wisconsin. So I didn't have a whole lot of prepared comments today. I'm going to try to make this as cohesive as possible. But you know, what a day to be having this hearing when I woke up this morning and opened the door and you can smell smoke and you can hear my voice. I can't. My throat is closed up. I can't speak, and that's because of pollution in the air. And then we're having a hearing today on adding a gas plant that will put more pollution in the air. And we're doing this at a time when we really should be going more towards the renewables. I've spoken about the renewables before. They're cheaper, they're easier to operate. They don't put poison into our gas. They're not a commodity that is going to go up as data center demand goes up. Like, it just makes perfect sense. But yet we're building more gas plants. And I did run into an article last week about this. And it said that the PSC released a draft of its strategic energy assessment, and it expects a 40% increase in our energy demand over the next 5 to 10 year period. But it says that 72% of that is due to 3 data centers, which is alarming. It's just shocking that we're talking about adding all this dirty energy to the grid to serve 3 data centers. These are the most profitable companies in the world, yet we're rolling over to give them more gas plants. What we really need is a more regional approach, a statewide approach that serves the people first and data centers second. If we need to update our energy grid, we're all for it. The union guys, we want you guys working, but we want you working on the right projects. 150 jobs, not that impressive really for part-time, for just a short period of time. And I'm not putting down that the economic growth, it's all good, but at what cost? Today we can't breathe. Like, when is enough enough? I just, this is just getting to be too much. So in the commenters that talked about, I heard a lot of people that aren't trusting the companies that are building this and We Energies, and that's a problem too. I think we used to look at the utilities as a partner, and that just, it's adding a level of distrust. And the PSC seems to be approving things on a one-off basis. And, I was so glad when they actually listened to the last bunch on the data center rate schedule. Like, it felt like such a victory after the Oak Creek thing where so many people spoke up and but I think we really have to listen hard to what the people are saying, the people that live next door, the people that live within the county. It's just too much. We can't be adding all these gas plants for data centers. I'm against it, as are most of the people at this hearing. And we don't even know, like, to Gloria Hewitt's point, we don't even know that these plants will be needing all of this. So we don't want more gas plants. The solar, I know some people didn't like it, but it's not adding pollution to their lungs. It's not making them not able to walk outside. What's happening today is the direct result of climate change. I lived long enough to remember when there weren't wildfires going on every year. It was something that happened occasionally. And, I remember when you could fish in Lake Michigan, but you couldn't eat the fish because they were full of toxic chemicals. Well, then I saw that improve. And now it seems like we're taking steps backwards. A lot of that's on the federal level, loosening regulations and stuff, but on the state level, we should be tightening it. We're supposed to be protecting the people of the state. And I just hope that the PSC really listens and hears that we don't want more gas plants, just hands down. Gas plants harm our health. They're ugly. They add smokestacks to the landscape. It's just not something we want. And a huge concern is that we really do need a more statewide plan to take account for what the people need first and the data centers second. So I'm going to conclude my comments with that.
All right, well, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to take Gene as our last Zoom. Oh, he's on the phone now. All right, I'm not going to take Gene. we're going to go to live people here in the room at this point. I don't know what Gene's up to. All right, so let's have, and so do you want to take a break? Or we do 5 more? And then, okay. So it's been about an hour and a half. We're doing this nonstop, so I just want to make sure we're okay here. If people do need to chat and kind of check in with each other, I just invite you to do that out of the room. It's hard enough. Our court reporter's trying to stay focused, but if you hear other voices, your attention starts to divert, and then I don't know how she does it, but I don't want to make it any harder for her than it is. So please take conversations outside. So we have Al Fogel next, Fogel. And then we had Chris and Matt, Alex, and Vadine. So Al, swear you in. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Name and comment.
Hello, my name is Al Coble. I'm a member of the operating engineers and live in southern Wisconsin. Thank you for letting me speak today in favor of the Foundry Ridge Energy Center project. I've heard people say that the economic impact of construction work should not be considered because construction jobs are temporary. As an individual whose entire professional career has been in construction, I find this argument deeply offensive. Does a doctor see the same patient every day? Does an architect design different buildings? Does the furnace repairman work in the same house every day? Consecutive work this may be, but temporary it's not. Construction work is a career. I know this because that's how I've provided my family for 33 years. It's highly offensive when people opposing this project belittle a profession that employs over 150,000 Wisconsin taxpayers. In closing, I support not only the Foundry Ridge project, but renewable energy projects too. I'm an outdoorsman. I enjoy fishing, hunting, golfing, and I believe clean energy and good jobs is important. Projects like this help us do both. They give us all a chance to be part of building Wisconsin's future. Thank you for your time.
All right, thanks. So Chris F. I'm not gonna try to read what you got here, but you'll give it to us, so go ahead. All right. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, state your name. Do you need that spelled?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
My name is Chris Feldman, CHRIS, FELDMANN.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember to speak,
Okay, I'll try. I'm sorry. Hello, my name is Chris Feldman. I am a business agent for Local 139, and I live in southern Wisconsin. Thank you for letting me speak today in favor of the Foundry Energy Center project. Foundry Ridge Energy Center project. Sorry. Without any real data, people claim that this Foundry Ridge project will use a huge amount of water. This is simply not true. Peaker facilities like Foundry Ridge use a minimal water to produce essential electricity. The cooling system is used only on warm days, so there are many days when almost no water is used at all. All the water use is reported publicly, included where water will be sourced and maximum use amounts, which is significantly less than other common uses like farming, irrigation. I support not only the Foundry Ridge project, but renewable energy projects too. I enjoy camping, hiking. I'm a motorcyclist. I enjoy our beautiful state, and I want Wisconsin to have clean power and good jobs, projects like this to help us do both. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. Matt, you know who you are. It's good. Have a seat. Thanks. All right. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
State and spell your name, please.
Matt Ison, I-S-O-N.
Okay. I don't know why it didn't look like that to me, it's just my brain. Go ahead.
I'm a 29-year member of the operating engineers. I also live in southern Wisconsin here. I'm in favor of the Foundry Ridge project as well. Many of those that object to the Foundry Ridge projects seek to stop any energy infrastructure that does not come from 100% renewable source. without regard for the impact of such positions on people and businesses that need access to reliable, affordable energy. As Wisconsin transitions away from the coal-burning power plants, we need natural gas during high demands driven by the manufacturing, electrification, and digital infrastructure to provide the reliability needed to meet that growth. This project will provide reliable energy during the peak times when renewable sources like wind and solar may not be available. It helps to keep our electrical grid stable and our utility bills affordable for everyone. I support not only Foundry Ridge project, but all renewable energy projects as well. I also believe that we need to protect our environment, as I want clean power and good paying jobs. Projects like this do both, and this will give us all a chance to build or to be part of building Wisconsin's future. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Alex Schmitz. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Name and comment.
Hello, my name is Alex Schmitz. I'm a member of the Operating Engineers Local 139. I live in southern Wisconsin, south of Madison here. Thank you for letting me speak today in favor of the Foundry Ridge Energy Project. I just wanted to touch base on the conversation of the air quality that's going to be involved in this project. All power plants are subject to strict Clean Air Acts and regular monitoring and reporting to ensure air quality levels are safe for humans and the environment. In addition, natural gas is clean burning fuel that produces a fraction of the emissions of coal. Half the carbon emissions, no solid residues or heavy metals, and negligible amounts of harmful smog-causing pollutants. It's the same gas used in water heaters, home furnaces, and stovetops. I support not only the Foundry Ridge project, but renewable energy projects too. I'm a big deer hunter, and I believe we need to protect our environment. I want Wisconsin to have clean power and good jobs. Projects like this help us do both. They give us all a chance to be part of building Wisconsin's future. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, sir. Landine Sanoda. After this person, we'll switch to Zoom again.
Hi.
Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
State your name first, please.
My name is Jadine Sonada, Jadine, yeah, Sonoda.
Give me a second, just.
Hi.
Go ahead. Okay, thank you. Thanks for hearing my comments today. I first wanted to just give my support to a lot of the people before me who have spoken about the air quality and climate. When I got up today, I could really feel the smoke in my throat, even though I was inside. And that was really worrying to me. And I think that gas projects like this are only going to make that worse, which is really scary. But I also wanted to talk today a little bit about water use. And in that, I know water is really important to all of us. Obviously, we can't live without it. And Wisconsin is a very water-rich state with many, many lakes and river miles. And many of Wisconsin's communities also get their water from private wells, including here in Walworth County. And as we're digging ourselves even deeper into the climate crisis, I think that water access is something that we aren't able to ignore. And as droughts intensify and extreme heat increases, access to fresh water becomes increasingly difficult. And we just can't live without it. This week, we've talked about this a little bit, but we've seen temperatures in the 90s, heat indices above 100, and a heat advisory across a huge swath of Wisconsin. We also obviously have this terrible air quality today, and I had also read that the city of Menominee declared a full irrigation ban after residents experienced low water pressure, which was specifically because of hot and dry weather. And these are the conditions when both water use and energy use is most strained, which brings me to why we're here today. So the Department of Natural Resources 2024 Water Withdrawal Report shows that 73% of our state's annual water withdrawal is for power generation, which is a huge amount. It's more than municipal water systems and agricultural irrigation and paper manufacturing and cranberry production and all other uses combined. And this was before the boom in hyperscale data center projects.
I'm sorry, this is before the
boom in hyperscale data center projects.
Thank you.
Which prompted a whole slate of new fossil fuel power plant projects like Foundry Ridge. And specifically, Foundry Ridge is being built to power the Vantage data center and not supporting communities. If built, Foundry Ridge, per their application and the EIS, is projected to use an average of 4.9 million gallons of water per year, with a maximum of 55,000 gallons of water per day during peak use. Most fire trucks can carry around 1,000 gallons of water, so when this plant would be operating at peak use, that's 55 fire trucks worth of water disappearing every single day. And I also had heard a comparison recently that I know many of us have been told, turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth, you can save water. And in doing that, you save an average of 4 gallons of water per brushing. And so as we're doing our best to conserve water in our day-to-day, just one day of Foundry Ridge operating at full capacity would basically negate 13,750 toothbrushings worth of savings. And I think that really speaks to the fact that all of us here can do our best, but we really need our regulators to stick up for us and make sure that we're not approving more projects that are being completely irresponsible with water and our climate. And just thinking about what else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I also wanted to just lift up, I had mentioned this, but the hottest and driest days of summer like now are when the water system is already strained. And if other communities in Wisconsin are seeing their water, their taps not turn on, what could happen here and what could happen elsewhere where additional gas plant projects are proposed. Our water in the state should be reserved for drinking water for all of us, and it shouldn't be used to operate new fossil fuel power plants, which are already creating detrimental impacts to our health and climate, especially if they're for the sole purpose of a data center, which we don't need because it hasn't been built yet, and we obviously are all living okay right now. So I am here today just to call on the Public Service Commission to deny this permit and protect Wisconsinites and not the companies that are trying to profit off this. Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much. All right, let's go off the record. I want to check in with the remaining Zoom participants that haven't had a chance to speak. Looking at you, Jean. I'm going to spotlight you. So, Jean, I see you are unmuted. No, you're muted. I think I can unmute you now. Oh, I can't. Okay. Okay, Jean, you'll need to unmute again. I had to mute you because your phone was coming through the Zoom here. But if you can unmute, I can take your comment. All right, so we also have 2 people who are on the phone. So they can comment by pressing *6 to unmute. So I can take the first person, their phone number ends in 430. And if you press *6, I'll take your comment now. I'm just going to send you a message to tell you to do that as well. Oh, looks like they dropped off. Okay, and then the other phone number, looks like you're unmuted. Great, so this is the phone number ending in 749. I got you on the line. Would you like to make, hi, would you like to make a comment?
Yeah, my name, I didn't actually expect to get through. I'm not on visuals, I'm just on the phone. I tried setting up Zoom.
That's perfectly fine. You can certainly comment by phone. I have no problem with that. So I'm going to swear you in. So raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. I just moved my phone a little bit. Hopefully this will help.
Okay, good. So do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, state your name and spell your name for us, please.
It's Colleen Krohn, Krohn.
Okay, go ahead with your comment.
I listened to a lot of back and forth for both sides, and it seems to me that the sides that are trying to approve or move the project forward literally have either a stake in it or a job that will benefit from it directly. And several people have said that I expect people to want jobs, and I have no problem with that. but we would want them working on clean energy jobs and jobs that are not going to affect the environment, that are not going to harm the water. Wisconsin is rich in water, and everybody takes that for granted. I had a sister who moved to Arizona for like 2.5 years, and she came back and she said, you guys are so spoiled. She said you wouldn't believe what they had to do to try and manage their water in Arizona. Well, the fresh lakes in Wisconsin and the surrounding states are the largest in the world. And we take that for granted, and we really, really shouldn't. I agree with the other lady that we should not be risking our water, and we should definitely not be doing it for AI centers that should be using their money and their investment to get clean energy for themselves and for our state. We should definitely not be adding any kind of fossil fuel at this point at all. Climate change is here, the effects are here, and they're just going to keep getting worse, and we shouldn't do anything at all, even the littlest amount, which, and I've heard the arguments, and it doesn't sound too bad when you step back and you look at just this one plant. The problem is you got to take 10 steps back and you got to look at the whole picture. And once you look at the whole picture, then it don't sound so good, because one little plant might not affect things, but they're not looking at one little plant, and everything has been snowballing for years because nobody wanted to look at the big picture. They wanted to look at the little picture. Well, we can't afford to do that anymore. And my opinion is no more natural gas plants, anything that's clean energy. Even they have those heat things, those heat pumps. Those are clean energy. There's got to be a bigger form of that kind of plant for a heat pump, or a wind farm, or solar panels, or hypothermic plants. There's several options that aren't just wind and solar that are not fossil fueled. Fossil fuel should be nothing new. Nothing new. Somebody else said they had 70% of fossil fuels right now. Well, then we should use what we have and slowly phase them out as we get newer, cleaner, better options. That's my opinion. At any rate, I hope very much that the Public Service Commission is listening to the people who actually live on the ground where these plants are going to be. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Appreciate it. I'm going to mute you. And then we have Jean on the line and unmuted. Jean, can you hear me?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I am.
I thought you wanted it unmuted. That's why I did it.
You're good. Yeah. I won't explain. It's okay. So I got you here. Did you want to comment?
I would like to, but I'm not really prepared to. I don't know enough about it right now.
Okay, that's fair. So
I was involved with the last thing with the solar, and I'll just pass on this one, please.
Okay, not a problem. You'll still have an opportunity to do that. We're going to meet again at 6 p.m. So I can take your comment then, or you can file a comment in writing up until July 23rd. So you still have a chance to comment if you want to collect your thoughts and send us something, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna mute you now, and I don't know if I can turn off your camera. I'm gonna try to do that. So I'm gonna basically say goodbye at this point, but just unmute if you do want to give us a comment before we adjourn. All right, and so we got Jean out of there, and I think that's all of our Zoom participants for the moment. We're actually getting towards the end of people on the list, but I do want to take a quick break. I'll give you who's up next, and then we'll take just a 10-minute break. We have to do that. So we have Dr. Brittany Keys, John Heck, Heather Monty, Brian Gunnick, and Sarah, it looks like Zarling. You guys will be next, but we'll break and we'll get back just before. Let's try to do a real 10 minutes. So 5 to 4, we'll be back and ready to go. Thanks. All right, it's 3:55, so we're wrapping up our break and coming back to the hearing. So everyone, please take a seat, or if you want to continue talking, please do so in another room.
Or
Do you know some of these people? All right, everyone, we're gonna get started. The sooner we start, the sooner you know what. So let's get going.
don't worry, this isn't responding. It's not responding.
No, it's not working.
Microsoft Windows just shut down.
No, well,
They have time to clear out.
Yeah, maybe.
you can sit if you want. All right, we're just getting our computers restarted here.
Heather Monty had to leave.
I'm sorry.
Heather Monty had to leave.
Oh, okay. Is that someone?
On your list.
Okay, well, just let them know that they can file online if they want, or written comment.
I'll take your spot.
But we're not done, don't worry. There's plenty. If you know, there's still time to sign up. Just because you haven't done it yet, grab an appearance slip from the table and they'll get it to me. Just fill out that top part and check you'd like to speak. We'll put you on the list. Like I said, we're going to be here from 2 until we're done, and then start up again at 6. You know, hopefully we'll have a break. It's at least some kind of break in between. But yeah, but there's about 10 more people to go, and I don't think anyone else on Zoom at this point. So we're just trying to get our the transcription software up and running again.
It's saying Microsoft, so I don't know.
Uh-oh. So it's computers.
No pressure here with the side one.
I got everyone to be quiet.
I know.
Oh well.
Okay, third time's a charm. Hey, look at that, third time was a charm.
All right, excellent. All right, so let's get started. I'm Brittany Keys. I'll swear you in. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Go ahead.
Well, good afternoon. Do I need to spell my name?
Just state it for the record.
State it? Okay. It is Brittany Keys, Keyes. Thank you, Judge Newmark, Public Service Commission staff, and Commissioner Hawkins for being here today. This is very important for the entire community. My name is Dr. Brittany Keys. I'm a physical therapist and the Clean Air Policy Manager with Healthy Climate Wisconsin. I'm also a resident of Beloit, so just west of here in Rat County. We share the same air, we share the same water, and I am neighbors to the local community members that are here. And Healthy Climate Wisconsin is a statewide nonprofit of doctors, nurses, therapists, public health professionals, all working to address the pollution to our air, water, and our land to improve the health of our patients, communities, and our families. And it's with that I ask the Public Service Commission to stand strong with their mission, ensuring safe, reliable, affordable, environmentally responsible utility service with equitable access, and to stand strong to prior rulings, specifically in the We Energy's very large customer tariff case, where commissioners said that we, the residents of Wisconsin, should not pay 1 penny for hyperscale data center infrastructure. And as part of that call, we ask that this go beyond just our pocketbooks. We ask that the Public Service Commission deny this gas plant to ensure Wisconsinites are not left paying for data centers with our health or our lives. So with the data that was provided by We Energies, so I'm speaking to the health harms of emissions
reflecting on the data provided by the applicant. There was a little bit of confusion there is where we might have found the emissions information. The Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies from the University of Wisconsin ran a study looking at both Foundry Ridge Gas Plant and Red Oak Ridge Gas Plant. Both are currently being applied for by We Energies to be bespoke solely to serve data centers in Wisconsin. So looking at just the soot pollution or the particulate matter, the exposure from these facilities in just the first year of operations would cause 4 premature deaths just to power data centers. The cumulative total of the expected 30-year lifetime would total an excess of 118 premature deaths. Those are our neighbors. That's our patients, and that's our family. Now, there is a monetary cost to individuals who have health harms from particulate matter pollution. There's a cost to asthma attacks, to heart attacks, to strokes, all which you can have an increased risk with the exposure of the pollution that this developer is already reporting. That cost in the first year alone would result in $44.4 million in air quality damages. Throughout the cumulative 30-year lifetime from these 2 facilities that again are only here to serve data centers would result in $1.38 billion in health-related harms. And I have the full report here that I would love to leave to make sure we submit with my comment.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, it's important to appreciate that this project is not coming to an area without any pollution or an area that already doesn't have an unfair amount of air pollution. The National Institute of Health, it's a very reputable source. They have a Wisconsin air pollution table or report pulling on data from 2020 that reports Walworth County having the 4th highest level of particulate matter pollution in the state. And I say that appreciating that Rock County came in with the top. I also want you to know that neither Rock County nor Walworth County have a regulatory air monitor from the DNR. And as an individual who has advocated for my community in Rock County with the DNR for about 5 years, that if you don't have a monitor, you can't prove you're not okay. You can't prove you're not in attainment, and they will tell you you don't have a problem. Even when you have high asthma rates in your schools, even when there's unjust high levels of chronic disease, even when you have some of the highest mortality rates, they will tell you you do not have a problem. The Wisconsin DNR also does not look at cumulative impacts when they do their air permits. It is recommended by the US EPA that they do, but because it's not required, they don't. So please appreciate that Walworth County is already sitting, according to 2020 NIH data, at 9.1. This is not what the DNR is going to run their modeling with. Ours is higher, and they say we have low background assumptions when they run the modeling for all the projects in Rock County. The harms of particulate matter impact air pollution, impact every system in the body throughout the lifespan. Other health professionals have spoken to it. When you're looking at that 9.0 threshold, it's important to know that the World Health Organization says this is a 0 threshold pollutant. There's truly no safe level for the human body. Those most vulnerable are children, those with pre-existing conditions, those who are expecting or pregnant, but really all of us are at risk and all of us are harmed by any exposure. And so as health professionals, our members and myself, we adhere to a code of ethics. Number 1 is do no harm, and the next one is to do good. And so we ask the Public Service Commission, who serves the public, to consider these same ethics, to help uphold the mission and to do no harm in your decisions, appreciating that the science is clear, just the emissions that are already reported, which often are undershoot what really happens. People will die, people will get sick, and it will cost us billions. I also want to note that gas plants are not clean power. Methane is a fossil fuel. They are not safe. They pollute the air, the water, the land, and they harm our health. We have more than enough gas plants online, and what we need to do is rapidly phase that out. Because when you burn fossil fuels, it creates air pollution, and air pollution harms health. We already have an unjust level of air pollution in Walworth County. And also, DNR air permits do not mean we are safe. Their Title V, their operations program is not funded and barely staffed. While they may issue a construction permit, they do not have people or staff to ensure compliance. Just look over at Rock County. Alliance Riverside Energy Center, last valid operation permit was issued in 2015 before they expanded capacity more than twice. And they continue to ask to build out more. So I asked the Public Service Commission, ensure Wisconsinites are not paying with their pocketbooks. We're not paying a penny. And to ensure that we are protected from the cost of data centers, and that includes, please make sure we are not paying with our health or our lives. And that is my organizational comment. I also, being a resident, and I apologize, thank you. Being a resident and a neighbor, let's see. This is, my daughter has submitted comments previously to this because gas plants continue to be approved in Rock County, and we have very high asthma rates. She has an inhaler prescribed. And when she came down this morning, she looked out the window and she looked at me and whispered, "Is that smoke?" And I said, "Yes." And she started crying. Because she said, I thought it was fog. And she said she was scared. And we have to act where we can to protect our children and their future. Because outside right now is scary, the air is hazardous, and we can make a difference by preventing new large pollution sources. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Did you have something to give to me? I'll need those documents now.
Thank you so much.
And the picture, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, excellent. Thanks. All right, so we do have yeah, those are new ones. That's okay, I don't need them yet. Okay. So off the record, a couple of people did join on Zoom. Just want to let you know this is the Public Service Commission's public hearing for the Foundry Ridge Energy Center. We're taking public comments, and we have a bunch of people in the hearing room. We're going to be taking comments from them, and then shortly I'll invite the new people on Zoom to comment. Just sit tight until I do that. So people we have on deck now, John Heck, Brian, Sarah, and also we'll add Dennis Grams to the list. And so John Heck, we'll take you next. Here we go. You swear you in? You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, state your name and give us your comment.
My name is John Heck. Do I have to spell that?
No, I think we got it.
Good.
It was clear.
That's great. It's a pretty easy one to spell. My name's John Heck. I'm here on behalf of the Bolt Company, a prospective construction partner for the proposed Foundry Ridge Energy Center. Bolt understands that projects of this scale raise important questions for the communities. Our perspective is focused on construction execution, and if the project moves forward, Bolt is selected to build the project, our commitment is to deliver the project safely, professionally, and with respect for the surrounding community and its residents. Based on our experience delivering complex construction projects, We believe a project of this nature can create meaningful construction phase opportunities for the local skilled trades, trade partners, suppliers, and many of the local businesses. We also recognize that responsible construction requires clear communication, disciplined site management, careful consideration with local stakeholders, and a strong safety culture and conduct expectations for everybody working on the project. Bolt has a long history of being a good community partner, actively engaging in schools with intern and youth apprenticeship opportunities, project tours, and school visits. We consistently engage in volunteer opportunities and philanthropic efforts in the areas where we live, work, and play. If Bolt ultimately has a role in this project, we would look for the appropriate ways to support and engage with Darien and Walworth County communities. We respect the public services process and the voices of the residents participating in it. From Bolt's perspective, our commitment is straightforward. If selected to build this project, we will bring disciplined project execution, a strong safety culture, local workforce coordination, and a respectful approach to working in the community. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. Brian Gunnick. Have a seat. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
All right, go ahead, give us your name and comment.
My name is Brian Gunnick. I am a local farmer as of 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Before that, I was a journeyman lineman for the power company, so I have experience in the utility industry. We live right next to this. One correction to be made, people keep referring to the solar installation as a farm. The solar installation is not a farm. The construction workers that were here were talking about their deer hunting and how they love to do that. I would be glad to let any of them deer hunt on that solar installation. It cannot be done. Deer cannot be there. It's garbage. It's all Chinese junk. It doesn't work half the time. Half the time you go to church, the panels are pointing the wrong way. It's garbage. The reason that we are even having this discussion today is because its inability and ineffectiveness to deliver reliable power. There is no such thing as reliable green energy. The sun doesn't shine all the time. It doesn't shine at night. In the winter, the panels get covered with snow. It is not reliable. That's why they're wanting to build a peaking plant. Another oxymoron. If we needed power so bad, why aren't we building a 100% usable power facility rather than sneaking up on a local farming community that, against their will, got jammed a solar project in that not too many appreciate. That gets to the longevity of that. The one that was started out in the desert said its lifespan was going to be 20 years. They shut it down after 11. The Chinese junk doesn't work. Okay, we're all complaining about clean air. We all want clean air. I think we ought to sue Canada for sending all that crap down to us, because that is not from the United States, and we live in the greatest country in the world, and we need power. And I'm not disagreeing with that. But we need to do it smart. If we can put 500 of America's best soldiers in a nuclear submarine and submerge it with 40 years worth of fuel and have them come back 3 years later and be perfectly healthy, why can't we build a nuclear reactor that will solve all these problems without all these temporary band-aids? And we haven't even considered the long-term cost of these solar junk installation on what it's going to be to go to a grocery store 20 years from now and buy our food. because you can't take half of the production land of agriculture out and cover it with Chinese junk and expect not to have a long-term impact on our society and our future for our kids. We want to leave this world better than we found it. And I'm not an educated, I don't have a master's degree or anything like that, but I'm a farmer, and I like to consider myself an environmentalist. I try to do what's best for the farm, what's best for the environment, what's best for my neighbors. Long term, we have to think that way together. And I submit to you, data centers are a problem, but we are the source of the problem. Every one of you guys could get rid of your smartphone and buy a flip phone, and they couldn't collect as much data on you. And we wouldn't have to build data centers. And they wouldn't be selling your information to the Chinese, and we would be able to farm our land and eat the products cheaper than having to get somebody wanting to sell you something that they heard you talk about the day before. So this is a problem in our country, and this is my soapbox, I guess, but we have an opportunity to do things right, or we can do them temporary. A peaking power plant that's gas operated in the middle of a cornfield is not a long-term solution to a short-term problem. We need to do things right, and I submit that the Public Service Commission really think about this, because just throwing up gas peaking power plants is not a long-term solution. They run 80% of the time. Yes, they only use water when they're running. The only time they run is when it's hot and the water is needed every place else. So it is a problem with the water. So, and I was a union guy, and I made a living for my family, and I understand these guys want here to come and to build projects, and we should, but they should be long-term projects, not temporary fixes on farmland that is only going to cost us in the long term. I'm sure I got lots of other things to say, but that's all I can think of right now. So I thank you for my opportunity to speak before the committee.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Sarah Zarling, I think I'm getting that right. Sarah, are you here? Okay. We swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I guess so.
It's got to be a yes or no.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Name and comment, please.
Okay. My name is Sarah. It's Sarah with an H, and then Zarling rhymes with darling. Z is in zebra. Okie dokie. Well, as always, Judge Newmark, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you for your fast fingers. Thank you for being here. So when I give these testimonies, I don't have total prepared remarks. I come with things that I want to say, and then I also combine that with comments that I hear that I want to go back and either support or provide more background on. So I'm a little all over the place in my notes because of that method. So first I want to respond to some things. Again, I know that you know some of this. I know that you commissioners know some of this, but just to try and help clear up some misconceptions in the public. So there is a difference of data centers that, again, it's really important to note that this project proposal is specifically to power a data center over an hour away. It's not to power your lives here. It's not to power anyone's lives in this vicinity. So any of the arguments about, that this is going to power whenever, it's winter and we need more power or whatever, all those arguments don't hold water. You have to save them for another public hearing, which of course we know there will be one. In this particular case, it's important to remember that the purpose of this gas plant will only be to power the data center. So now that I've got that cleared up, I also want to clear up the misconceptions about data centers. with references to, like the previous comment, the data centers that help to store our data that we use currently, like the cloud and when we're on Facebook and things, those are regular data centers that we've always used. These are hyperscale AI data centers. They're very, very different in the energy and water that they use. And so it's just really important to know these distinctions whenever you're making arguments. And looking at the whole picture, so I do want to support some of the comments earlier about, that mine was, people put it differently, but I said it looks like the wildfire smoke is helping to make our case today for why this project should be denied. I want to provide some background to why I strongly believe we have this wildfire smoke in the beginning. So for people who don't know, in the Alberta, in the province of Alberta in Canada, that's where tar sands extraction or oil sands mining is done. And the process of that is extremely carbon intensive, and it also just absolutely ravages the land. It takes ancient forests and turns them into wastelands of tar. And then that is created for oil and gas projects and products that we use in our daily lives. And so it's important to note, ironically and not coincidentally, that wildfire smoke that we are getting from Canada is largely due to the oil and gas extraction that is happening in Canada. So, we really should think about that and think about if we want to add more pollution to our atmosphere. The thing with methane is that we all know about carbon dioxide and we talk about greenhouse gases, but it's important to know kind of what that actually means. We say the term greenhouse gas, but if you don't really understand what that means, we all know what would happen to us if we sit in a car that's running in a garage where the door is closed, like we would die. And that's the same thing that happens on a planet. This is a planet with an atmosphere. That stuff just doesn't go away. And methane is actually way more warming in our atmosphere than carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, or methane actually lasts for a shorter amount of time in our atmosphere than carbon dioxide, but it is far more warming and dangerous in that way. And it's also toxic to human health as well. So let's see, start right here. Yeah, sorry, I apologize. I'm digging around. Okay, I got that one, very good. Okay, there was a comment earlier about someone being offended that people think that, about the comments from construction workers, that the temporary economic impact doesn't matter for why they should be able to build their projects or whatever, why they want to support these projects. I think different people mean different things, but at least for me, I feel like it's really important to address when I make comments like that, and I have been more, especially where it pertains to data center project proposals. It's important to think about beyond your paycheck and to think about, well, I don't want to say your, because I know I'm not supposed to be addressing the public, I'm supposed to be addressing the commissioners, I apologize. So it's important for people to think beyond their paycheck and to think about the fallout that the people who are living there where you're building that project, like what they're going to be living with once you pack up or once they pack up and move away. There just needs to be more thought about things like that. Let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting things. But, some people mentioned earlier too about the Oak Creek hearings last year, or whenever that was, it all blends together now at this point, about how there was overwhelming citizen opposition against those projects and how they were approved anyway. And when that happens, it erodes the trust in the public. The public is depending on you, the Public Service Commission, to do what's best for them. And so when they show up in droves and tell you that they don't want a thing, and then it's approved anyway, you know, that makes it hard for the public to want to trust you and believe that you're looking out for their best interests. So these last couple of hearings, someone else mentioned this too, about these tariff cases. Judge Newmark, I want to call you out directly and thank you for your position on the redacted documents and requiring more transparency. Just to your credit, my colleagues and I notice that you are paying attention to the public, and that you're actually like reading comments and saying, like referencing things about transparency and betrayal of trust. And so I just want to commend you for that and to urge you to maintain that trajectory, and especially in the case of the fact that this project is specifically to power a data center and not people's lives. I strongly, strongly urge you to deny this permit, and please keep representing the public. So, thank you.
Thanks very much. All right, so well, we have a few more people to go, but last person on the list here was, that I called out before, was Dennis Grams. Then we're going to switch and see if anyone on Zoom wants to speak. Dennis, are you here? Did I say that right? Looks like Dennis, D, or it could be M's instead of N's. I don't know. Grams, G-R-A-M-S? No? Okay, put it to the side. So let me just check on Zoom. We had 2 more people join us. So we had Jordan. Did you want to speak at the public hearing? We can take your comment now. You'll just have to unmute, turn on your camera. Jordan Kari, there you are.
I'm just listening to that.
Okay, no problem, thanks. And who was the other person? Oh, I don't see them anymore. I think they dropped off. Okay. So to return to people in the room, I got a couple more here. So we've got Darcy Rojas, Kevin Schultz, I think. Simmer Dalton, or Elmer Dalton. Amy McInnes. Yeah, Darcy, come on up. Just giving everyone a heads up who's next. So. Okay.
Hello.
Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right. Give us your name and comment.
Okay. My name is Darcy Rojas. I live here in the village of Darien, and I've lived here my whole life since a child. I've spent so many years of my life walking around these country roads, just loving the community that we live in, the environment that we live in, the place that we live in, the beauty that we see. So I say that as a caveat because the last 20 years of my life, I've also spent my time studying how our environments affect human health and well-being, specifically in relation to interior design and your home. And a lot of what I've studied has been about VOCs and things that off-gas in our environments, things that affect our breathing, our health, cancer, everything. And beyond that, your environment is also the community that you live in, the geographic location, the environment of everything that is being built around you. So like many people in this community, I became involved in this because I wanted to understand what was being proposed in the place that my family calls home, because home really means a lot to me, as I'm sure it does to all of you. And during that process, I also founded what I'm calling the Environmental Vigilance Alliance, or EVA for short, which is an independent Wisconsin public interest initiative that is helping communities understand and participate in environmental and infrastructure decisions. Over the past several months, I've spent hundreds of hours studying these proceedings, trying to make sense of everything that is being presented, because as a typical person, a typical community member, this is a lot. Like, there is no one clear way for us to all understand what is happening. So This has involved reviewing this docket and the related utility acquisition docket, the very large customer tariff docket, the natural gas proceedings, and the final environmental impact statement. And I came into this process believing I was reviewing a proposed merchant power plant, which many of you have heard. I no longer believe that's the complete picture. The Commission's own record now shows that Wisconsin Electric began discussing acquisition of Foundry Ridge in 2024. And by June 2025, before Invenergy filed this merchant CPCN application, Wisconsin Electric had already offered the project to a very large customer and entered into a financial agreement supporting its development. Today, Wisconsin Electric states that Foundry Ridge would not be required for its existing generation portfolio, but for the incremental load of that subscribing very large customer, which is a hyperscale data center. And as Sarah Zarling mentioned, these data centers are not to power social media, your phone, your cloud. It is because of what is coming with AI. And obviously everything is speculation because we don't know the whole answer behind that either, but it is replacing a lot of what everybody does and what we know our life to be. So that fundamentally changed my understanding of this entire project, because it's not simply a merchant generating facility standing on its own. The Commission's own record now shows it's part of a coordinated plan involving utility ownership, dedicated infrastructure, and extraordinary new electric demand. That makes one question especially important. If this project is not needed for Wisconsin Electric's existing generation portfolio, should the environmental and community impacts be borne by the people of Darien before every related proceeding and infrastructure decision has been fully resolved? And while I appreciate this Commission has strengthened the protections for existing electric customers by rejecting the original proposal that would have assigned part of Foundry Ridge's cost to them, that does not answer the larger question before you. Is this project necessary, and is it in the public interest? A project does not become necessary simply because a customer wants it. The Commission's responsibility is to determine whether approving it serves the long-term public interest of Wisconsin. And the final environmental impact statement documents real environmental impacts, not merely hypothetical ones. The project would introduce additional air emissions into a rural community. It would require industrial wastewater management. It would rely on groundwater supplied by a private well. It required a provisional well mitigation plan because nearby private wells could potentially be affected. It would permanently industrialize agricultural land. It would affect wetlands, wildlife habitats, rural roads, emergency response planning, and the landscape surrounding our community. And while mitigation is proposed for many of these impacts, mitigation is not the same as eliminating risk, and many issues remain dependent on future permits, future studies, and future operating conditions. Just as importantly, no single docket evaluates the cumulative effects of this project together with the related gas infrastructure, transmission facilities, substations, solar development, industrial water demand, and the broader wave of energy infrastructure being developed to serve rapidly growing large load demand, including new hyperscale data centers. Each proceeding examines one piece, while residents experience all of them together. Our environment does not recognize docket boundaries. Neither do the people who live here. The record is fragmented, but the impacts are not, and the decisions made today will shape this landscape for generations. The record also shows that important infrastructure questions remain unresolved. Transmission studies are still evolving. Affected system costs are not yet final. The gas infrastructure includes a dedicated utility-owned pipeline and gate station. Wisconsin Electric has updated the project's maximum gas burn after earlier filings reported different values. And the final allocation of some gas-related costs still depend on future Commission decisions and other proceedings. These are not minor details. They are part of an understanding. They are part of understanding the true scope of the project before you. And respectfully, I do not believe the record before you is complete enough to support approval of this project. Approving this application now would require the Commission to make its decision while important environmental, infrastructure, and cost allocation questions remain unresolved across related proceedings. I respectfully ask you to deny this application. If Wisconsin Electric now acknowledges that this plant would not be needed, but for one very large customer, then I ask you to carefully consider whether my community should bear the environmental, land use, infrastructure, and long-term industrial and health impacts of a project that is not being built to meet Wisconsin Electric's existing public demand. And at a minimum, I ask that you postpone any approval until the environmental review, utility acquisition, customer agreements, gas infrastructure, transmission obligations, interconnection costs, and cumulative impacts can be evaluated together through one complete and coordinated record. Because Darien is not simply a location on a map, it is our home. And let me ask you, if an architect or a builder were building a home, would they build it piecemeal, one piece at a time? Would they put the bathroom in before they know where the bedroom is? You know, it's very simple analogy, but no, they would start with a comprehensive plan. They would know the entire scope of the project before they started. And they'd have to follow many codes and regulations in the process too. So I respectfully ask that you protect both this community and the integrity of the Commission's decision-making process by ensuring this project is evaluated on a complete record before any approval is granted. Because why? You know, I must ask, are we building this new version of home for Wisconsin's future, one piece at a time, without a comprehensive plan that protects the environment and our human health?
Thanks very much. Kevin Schult, S-C-H-U-L-T, I believe. Kevin? Oh, there you are, okay. Got the wrong glasses on, I can't see that far. I can see this little blob coming through me. All right. Have a seat. Swear you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, give us your name and comment.
My name's Kevin Shutt.
You can come by the mic.
Name's Kevin Shutt. I'm here today on behalf of the town of Darien. I'm the
Still can't hear yet.
chairman of the town of Darien. I'm here just today to say that we kind of hope that you guys listen to the residents. I know there's a lot of union people here, or builders, and people that want to build the project, but the actual residents that are going to live here throughout the project's life, you know, we ask that you hold Invenergy to the same standards as We Energy, since they will be the ones owning the project, probably hours after you guys approve it, if you do approve it, since the solar farm was, you know, less than 24 hours from the time you guys approved it, we owned the project. So we kind of really hope that you know, it's time for the PSC to hold all private companies to the same standards as regular utilities. There shouldn't be two sets of standards. There should be one and one only. You know, at the end of the day, the big companies, the big utilities are the ones that end up owning these projects, owning the power. You know, they've talked about, you know, the power transmission lines, where's the gas coming from, how all that's going to be set up. The town of Darien has no say really in this project. The project is too big for the town. You know, the only say the town has is a road agreement with the town. You know, you guys have talked about the revenue that the town would receive off of this. Yes, the town does receive some, but the town doesn't need the revenue, so it's not really gaining anything. You know, we already have the cheapest taxes around, so it's not a big benefit to the residents. And since our energy bills are not getting cheaper and they just, you know, keep going up, so, you know, on the town's half, we're just looking at that you really hold Invenergy to the same standards. If we or any other big utility were to build this project, you know, holding the DNR to hold these companies to the same standards they would hold any normal, regular person trying to get a permit to do anything. Everybody that's a normal person knows what it takes from the DNR to get something approved, and to just in a couple years approve a gas peaking plant. That are we holding them to the same standards we would a normal person? So the town is just really here to make sure that the majority of our residents are all against this project, pretty much. The town stands behind the residents And we're just here to make sure that everybody, we're holding everybody to the same standards, you know what I mean? We're not denying that we need more power, but the way we're going about doing it is not really the wave of the future. Green energy is not so much green when, we took 2,000 acres to come up with 325 megawatt system, and yet it's not producing that. And we're gonna build a peaking power plant to make sure we get to the right amount. The long-term goal is where you need to really be looking at what we're gonna do, not just Band-Aid after Band-Aid. Solar farm, we all talk about green energy. Green energy is not the future. It's gotta be something else. We know, a lot of people know that solar panels and windmills, the guy before me said it, they are not, it's not sunny every day, the wind doesn't blow every day, and a peaker plant running at 27% of the time, each end motor, or you know what I mean, is not the answer. We need to look at true solutions to the problem, and that's, we stand behind, we want everybody to be, Invenergy to be held to the same exact standards. You know what I mean? Everybody, it should be one standard, not two. So that's just where I leave you at.
All right. So Kevin, you mentioned are you speaking for the town of Darien?
Yep, I wrote that on there.
What's your position there?
Chairman.
Okay, good. I want to make sure we knew that. All right, thanks. I think next is, I think it's Elmer Dalton. Just trying to read the paper here.
Somebody raised his hand.
I'm sorry?
He's coming.
Yeah. I saw a movement, yeah. Yeah, these are the wrong. Here we go.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
All right, have a seat there, I'll swear you in. If you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Go ahead, name and comment.
Hey, by the way, you like this weather with this smoke? Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It ain't because oil sands are being extracted, it's because of mismanagement of forests, because I'm from a forestry industry, so I can tell you that's why.
Okay, go ahead,
But
please.
as far as this is concerned, I'm very concerned about the lack of the Public Service Commission actually looking out for the public interest. The PSC continues to allow all of these rate increases for Alliant and we've been hit with double-digit increases of 13%, 0.6 is now going to become on us in the next 2 years after already being hit with another 16.4 in the previous years. Okay? That's a problem. Because while you approve these plants and we have to build them, we end up having to pay for it. The so-called benefits back to the county or the township at the $940,000 that Invenergy is doing is just an actual shell game. At the end of the day, what are you going to do? You're going to tax the energy produced and then turn around and filter it back to us. And then the power companies turn around and give the commission rate increases and they bury that in there. And then you'll go, oh, but it comes in at a lower margin rate. Margin rate means nothing in business because I'm from the business world. It's about margin dollars. And that's evident over the last several years. The Public Service Commission has approved over $2.2 billion in rate increases versus only $300 million under the Walker administration. Now, the unelected PSC appears to be just a rubber stamp for these power companies, and that's a problem. The other critical issue is this project does not benefit the residents of Walworth County at all. We've already know that it's going to be heading south or some other areas. We have transmission lines right next across the street from us. It's supposed to be 700 to 1,000 feet. You're supposed to be away from them. No, they're right across the road before you have an EMPF or whatever they call that, impact. But it's right across the road from us. So these data centers should not be required to secure their power sources without them at the rate utility payers' expense. Wake up, PSC. You guys are supposed to be protecting the public interest as you're so charged. And that's the reality is when you look at all of the stuff that's been said, We have to protect the public interest. What public interest is it to build it out here when already the state of Wisconsin, through the MSISO, ships most of our power south anyway? We don't use everything that's being made now. And now we're going to add more, and we're going to try to ship it over to Kenosha or wherever they're going to build this. It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate for the residents of this area. And that's my spiel.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Amy McKinnis?
McKinney,
McKinney, I'm sorry.
actually store.
I'll get it for you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're good. I'm sure you're
Well, I need to get my.
set the right way, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I don't know. Let me see if I can see more. Can you just push my back up? Push my back up. Oh, one second. Hi.
Okay, first I'm going to swear you in. So, okay, well, can you raise your right hand? Is that, okay, great. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, great. State your name for us.
My name is Amy McKinney.
All right, go ahead.
I live at W9267 Creek Road in Darien, which is less than a half a mile from the proposed plant. Beyond all the health concerns for me, which are obvious, is the cost we bear for the facility. The PSC is supposed to be looking out for the public interest, yet the PSC continue to put the cost of building this plant on us, the ratepayers. The evidence of this is in the history of PSC approving over $2.2 billion in rate increases in just the last few years. Being on a fixed income, these rate increases are hard to absorb, especially when the power generated gets slipped elsewhere. How fair is this? You, the PSC, need to stop this. And I'm done.
All right, appreciate that. Thanks very much.
Because you have to stop it. And you are the only one.
Thanks for your comment.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So we have one more, I have one more slip, and then I can think at least one more person joined us on Zoom, so we'll continue with the people in the room here. So John Gunnick, G-U-N-N-I-N-K. Here he is. There. Swear you in. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Name and comment.
My name is John Gunnick. I'm not paid to be here by a union, or I wasn't given a script to read off of by an employer, but I am a member of the Darien Township. I live and farm in Darien with my parents as well. They farm in and around the area. We have 80 acres right next to the supposed gas plant. It's the only farm completely enclosed, I guess with a couple others. We see the effects of all of these solar panels, and me especially. This is my first year farming, and I see all of this ground, thousands of acres being completely ruined. And people my age, farmers that'll never be able to run that ground again. I see there's 40 acres on the corner of Creek Road and Clowes Road that was the base setup for the whole solar project. And it was covered in gravel. They took it all back off, said it was gonna be farmable. It's now beans. You can go drive by right now. Those soybeans are so stressed from the damage that was done to that farmland, they will not pay for the seed that it costs to put them in the ground. Farmland will never be farmable again. Don't care who tells you otherwise. You can go look at it right now. Another union rep told me, or told everyone here, that this was a necessity and a need for the future generation. At 21 years old, I don't believe it's a necessity, need, or a want. I consider myself part of that future generation, and I don't think it needs to be here. It's ruining farmland, ruining all these people's area, all this farmland that couldn't be around anymore, and noise pollution, air pollution, other things that have been brought up here today. And I didn't know what the PSC was until I got here today, but what it sounds like is you should be providing service to the public and not to private energy companies. So I'd love to see that happen and reject the proposal for the gas plant. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, so I have no more appearance slips for people in the room. We're not done yet, though. I'm going to check with the people who joined us on Zoom, who haven't had a chance to comment yet. I think that's Marcia Rodden, R-O-D-D-E-N. I see you there. If you want to comment on the Foundry Ridge Energy Center project for the Public Service Commission, you need to unmute, turn on your camera. Okay, there's also Rachel Quintero. Same thing. If you want to comment, please unmute, turn on your camera. Okay, I'm not getting a response. So we'll move on.
Give me a minute.
Oh, wait, hang on. We see. Oh, there you are. Okay, good, good. So can you get your camera on? I'm going to send you a message.
Hang on.
There we go.
Okay, sorry.
I see you there. Okay, so I'm going to get
All
you
right.
started. You wish to make a comment, Marcia?
Yes, I do.
So let me swear. So first, I'm going to swear you in and get you to spell your name for us. We have a court reporter in the room who's going to be recording what you say, and that transcript will be given to the commissioners who make the decision in the case. Okay, so that's how we're processing this. So first, I'm going to swear you in. So raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that was a little hard to hear. I'm going to make sure we can hear you okay. Just give us a couple other. Okay.
Okay.
How's that? All right, so I need to get your name. Just state your name for us and then spell it for us, please.
Marcia Rodden. M-A-R-S-H-A. Rodden, spelled R-O-D as in David, D as in David, E as in Earl, N as in Nancy.
Okay, great. I can hear you fine. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, my concern is I moved up to Allen's Grove, which is right up the road. They are in 94. So I've lived in this area since then. And my concern is what they're proposing on a natural gas plant. The location, I don't feel is appropriate. It's just way too close to residential, small businesses, and farms. And, you know, I mean, my concerns are about not only the noise that it would create, the environmental damage that it will cause to the surrounding areas and community. And health-wise, I also have health issues with breathing and things like that. And that would have a significant impact on me. I am down Creek Road right now, more towards Lawson School side. So it's very close proximity to where I'm currently residing right now. And that's my issue I have with it. It's not that I'm against progression. You know, for future things, we need to progress forward, but we need to do this responsibly. You know, look at what some of these are environmental issues or how they're operating and how they would operate in the area as to the impact it would cause on the, you know, the Turtle Creek and the farmlands, wildlife, and human beings, most importantly, which are footing the tabs for, the massive bill increases that we've been seeing from We Energies. And, I just think that we just need to look at this stuff responsibly. And I don't agree with its location at all. And that's my input on it.
Okay, well, I appreciate hearing from you.
Okay. Well, thank you
All
so
right,
much.
so, yep, take care.
Yeah.
So we're going to just ask one more time of Rachel. I don't know if I gave you enough time to unmute. You're on Zoom, Rachel Quintero.
Put your little camera in there.
No? Okay. So that's all we have on Zoom. Anyone else in the room wish to comment, hasn't had a chance? No? Okay. Oh, there's Rachel. Hang on. A little slow on the button there. Okay, let me unmute you. I think that worked. Yes. Okay, Rachel, I see you there. So we're collecting comments for the Foundry Ridge Energy Center, and what you say will be transcribed and provided to the commissioners who will make a decision on the application. So if you wish to comment, I'm going to swear you in. So raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So state and spell your name for us.
Rachel, Rachel. Quintero, Quintero.
All right, great. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to note that many of us live in this community for a reason. It's peaceful. We enjoy each other's company. We enjoy the peace, the quiet. There's a reason why people live in these rural areas. And I believe that what you're proposing will take that away from us. The life that we know, the life that we've worked for, and the critters, the deer, the turkey, all of the little animals that we have, our water, mainly the peace and the quiet. And I reject the proposal. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Rachel.
Thank you.
So we're going to close out this part of the public hearing session. We'll be back at 6 p.m. And I did want to review, before we close this, first of all, I just wanted to thank Commissioner Hawkins for attending. And we will be providing the transcript of the hearing to the commissioners for their decision. Also, wanted to review for people who, I don't think I actually mentioned this, but we are live streaming and on YouTube, and there will be a recording on our YouTube channel for hearings where you can review this. That'll be the unofficial version of the hearing. The official version will be in the transcript. We are going to be set to receive written comments up until July 23rd. They can be filed online or by U.S. mail, and the details on how to do that are on our notice of hearing. We're also going to be meeting, like I said, again at 6 p.m. for this session, and we'll be having the parties meet on Zoom on Tuesday, July 21st at 10 a.m. The Zoom link is for parties, but we'll be live streaming that as well on our YouTube channel for the public to observe. So at this point, I think we're done. We'll be back up at 6 to take new comments from new people. Thanks very much. We're adjourned.